I will never sell all of my Cardano's native token called ADA. And even though nothing I say is financial advice nor a guarantee, my rationale is this. We take a look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin at one point was at the price of $1. And at one point it was at the price of $1,000. But as of right now, Bitcoin is absolutely skyrocketing. And after this bull run is over, is Bitcoin going to have a pullback? In my opinion, yes. It's happened time and time again, happened back in 2021. And I don't see why the same thing won't happen after this bull run is over, so to speak. But even still, despite that, are we ever going to see Bitcoin at again, the price of let's say $1,000? No. Despite the pullback, that's not going to happen. Ethereum at one point, right? You take a look at, it was kind of low in price. Everyone thought it was caca. After this bull run is over, is it going to go to, let's say, the price of $10? No, that's not going to happen. Same thing like ADA. We've even seen this, again, when it comes to Cardano's native token called ADA, because do you remember before ADA had that massive bull run in 2021? At one point, the price was around 3 cents. Could you imagine that, right? After the pullback, in 2021, when things, became caca near the end, right? Did it ever go to the price of, around 3 cents ever again? Absolutely not. And I think that when this bull run is over, of course, ADA is going to have a time when it's going to have a pullback. But is it ever going to go to, let's say, below the price of $1 or let's say even below 50 cents? I just don't think so, which is why, again, I'm never selling all of my ADA. Now, I'm not necessarily crazy in a sense that I'm never going to sell anything because, of course, there needs to be a moment where enough is enough, But then even during the peak of this bull run, I'm not going to be selling completely. That's what I mean by that, right? I'm not going to be selling 100% because I still do believe that even despite the massive drop, ADA is still going to become relatively pretty good in terms of a price standpoint. So that's why I'm never going to be selling all of my ADA. And I think that Cardano is still going to be one of the most reputable projects out there because when you take a look at a layer 1 blockchain this amazing, I just don't see why it would be bad. You take a look at a lot of people and they keep saying that, oh yeah, Ethereum is going to be so amazing moving forward. Ethereum was good years ago, but what's good years ago may not be good moving forward. For instance, you take a look at Cardano, right? Unlike Ethereum, it doesn't have sky-high gas fees. Also on top of that, it doesn't suffer from scalability nonsense. You take a look at Ethereum, allegedly they have these problems. They have to rely on these Ethereum layer 2s to kind of fix this. But then Cardano doesn't need that because it's already very amazing in and of itself. Now, here's the thing as well. People like to say that, oh yeah, when it comes to Cardano, there's no activity. I disagree with that. I mean, thousands upon thousands of projects are currently building and thriving on Cardano, so it's not bad. And it may not be as flashy as Solana. It may not be as flashy as something like an Ethereum because they do have these very standout projects, right? But when it comes to Cardano, it's not really that well known when it comes to, its projects. Like for instance, we take a look at several Cardano meme coins. They haven't really popped off in the same way like a Solana, for instance, right? Like Book a Meme, like Dog with Hat, or these Ethereum meme coins, of course. But when it comes to Cardano, they do stuff that's beyond just this caca type of nonsense, even though I'm not necessarily saying that the meme coins are bad on those places. However, you take a look at Cardano, like I mentioned previously in my videos, you take a look at, the first legally enforceable Cardano smart contract has been signed in Argentina. So that's massive. Also unlocking, over $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin liquidity with Bitcoin OS, bridge integration. So when you think about that, Cardano is doing very massive things. They're not doing flashy things, but it doesn't really matter because the way you take a look at it is that Cardano is not going to be a project that's going to disappear when the fans and hype are gone. That's not going to be the case. I think that it's still going to survive moving forward. And even despite a lot of attention, being towards Solana and as well as Ethereum, this time around, Cardano is still holding up pretty strong. And not to mention as well, when you take a look at Cardano, the community feels like a meme coin. And this is no disrespect, by the way, because the way you take a look at it is that this is actually a compliment because the community, when it comes to the meme coin aspect side of things, is usually very passionate, very dedicated. They really believe in it. But then at the same time, Cardano is not a meme coin, right? It's not a meme coin project. So then the crazy thing about it is that the fans and the hype and the community feels very strong, feels very passionate, but then the project is actually good because other projects out there, they're very amazing. Like for instance, you take a look at Arweave. Arweave is a very fantastic project, focused on decentralizing data storage, but is the community good? Absolutely not. And I'm not saying this to disrespect Arweave because I really do like Arweave, but again, the community feels a little bit lacking. You take a look at, for instance, something like Saucer Swap. Saucer Swap is a very amazing decentralized exchange on Hedera, in my opinion, but the community still has a ways to go. Now, of course, it's a very small project compared to Cardano, but still, I've seen other smaller projects have a very strong community. So again, several other projects out there, they may not have the most dedicated community, but then they're very good fundamentally. But then when it comes to Cardano, it has both aspects. You know what I mean? Good community and also good fundamentals. And not to mention ADA. It has excellent exposure, listed pretty much everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, precisely everywhere because I may not know every single exchange that exists, but still, Cardano, it has great exposure. It may not, advertise through athletes and celebrities, but it doesn't really matter because some projects out there, instead of spending like millions towards building, they spend millions towards hiring these athletes, these celebrities. But it's like, who really cares? Because it's not relevant to what they're doing. It's like, why would you spend millions advertising on, let's say, getting a celebrity to shout this project out, but then there's pretty much nothing going on in the ecosystem? It's like, for what? You know what I mean? Why not just use it for grants, right? For instance, having these projects that petition their, idea, their project, so to speak, and then if they get approved, you can give them funding and help grow the ecosystem. I think that's a lot better than, for instance, something like that. But when it comes to Cardano, it's actually a serious project. It's a layer 1 blockchain that's intended to stay around for the long term. Other competitors out there, it feels like they just want to be around for a good time, like 1 cycle, 2 cycles, and then they're out. But then when it comes to Cardano, that's not the case. Charles Hoskinson, he's the real deal. Founder of Cardano, co-founder of Ethereum. I mean, he's absolutely amazing. So when you take a look at it, I think that Cardano has a very bright future ahead, and ADA, even at the price of $10 during this bull run, I just don't see why that'd be too crazy. I mean, if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $350 billion. That's around a 16x from here. So it's not, too bad, by the way. And keep in mind that market cap is still over $200 billion less than Ethereum's all-time high market cap. So when I take a look at ADA, the room for growth is still there. And not to mention, when it comes to Cardano, it's a very well-established project. So I really like that. Now, some people out there, they're saying, oh yeah, dude, why do you just like Cardano right now? I've talked about Cardano for quite a while. I've talked about Cardano for ages, it feels like at this point. You can take a look at my very early videos when it comes to Cardano. When I was talking about Cardano then, it wasn't that amazing. At that time, people were kind of bearish on ADA, right? They thought it was caca, it was trash. But as of right now, take a look at the price. Can't say I told you so, but hypothetically I told you so. But I think this right here is just a small taste of what's to come, because if you take a look at it, there's currently over 500 million crypto owners. According to Crypto.com research, Bitcoin is heading in such a positive direction. And I think the bull run is far from over. We haven't seen Ethereum at the price of $10,000 yet. We haven't seen, even Bitcoin at the price of $100,000 yet, even though it seems like it's heading towards that direction, but we haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? So when it comes to ADA and also this bull run in general, when it comes to altcoins, I still think that the run is far from over. So when it comes to Cardano, I still think that there's a lot still yet to prove. And around 6 months to a year from right now, at the price of $10, when it comes to ADA, I just don't see why not. I think this run could be that amazing. And you already know what I'm going to be doing in the meantime. I'm going to be dollar cost averaging still. I haven't sold any ADA. I've been acquiring ADA for feels like forever as of right now, but I'm still going to continue to acquire because anytime an income, I'm acquiring, I'm holding, and I'm just waiting. That's it, because I think better days are ahead. And I think that Cardano is very special. So I'm not going to give up when it comes to Cardano, and I'm going to still acquire ADA. And again, at the price of $10 during this bull run, that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe. If you gain value from this video, I greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.